It's time to hit the jackpot because you're listening to How to Bet, hosted by Daryl Fein and Sean Miller, breaking down betting into 4 categories to help you stay ahead of the game, sharing their thoughts, opinions, and analysis on how to bet it, where to bet it, and who to bet on. Now here are your hosts, Daryl Fein and Sean Miller.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our How to Bet podcast. I'm Daryl Fein along with Sean, the genius Miller. And remember to go to howtobet.com. And Sean, we have a great exclusive promos from different sportsbooks. And I know a lot of people took advantage. We want to thank everybody for watching us. As I say each and every week, there's a trillion podcasts to watch and listen to. So we do appreciate you coming on here. The other thing I love to tell everybody is remember, bet with your head, with your means. Don't go above your means. Don't bet with your heart. You could do it for fun, entertainment, or you could do it to try to make some money. But whatever you do, don't bet over your head. You know, if you have gambling problem, there's many numbers to call. 1-800-GAMBLER is one of them. So really, just bet within your means. Sean Miller, we're going to have a special guest, Lou Monaco from gambling.com coming on soon. So we're excited to talk to Lou about where this industry has gone and how to bet.
Yeah, definitely. I know he's been along with you a long time on the scene. Yeah, definitely. And
sports ticker days.
Yeah, that's right. I remember those days. Yeah, back in college when watching that. It's interesting. I don't know if people watching took the Power Parlay play of the week, but my moneyline parlay hit, and you know what else? You know what else hit, by the way? What? The Manchester United and Cristiano Ronaldo, but I saw. I mean, I don't like to brag a little
really
bit, but I did. I won a decent amount this week. Betting some games. The Rams game really, coming through there late, pushed me over the top.
Yeah. Hey, look, I had a successful week. I did not hit that parlay as Sean did, so congratulations to him. But I had a successful week, including Monday night. I gave that on my radio show, The Fine Line, heard around all around the nation. Check your local listings. I gave out Vegas to win outright, so I was a little proud of that. And it's just because I thought it would just be energized in Las Vegas.
Yeah, definitely. And that was a good game. That was a great game.
It was really good.
And if you're new here, make sure you click the subscribe button on the YouTube video, like and notification, and all the links we mentioned in this video, you can find them linked in the description box below. Follow our Twitter accounts for more plays as well. I'm at the Prodigal Sean and at Amargo Football. And Daryl, you are...
Fineline 33 on Twitter. FEINLINE 33. Fineline 33 on Twitter. Go there. Again, we have swag to give out. We have shirts, hats. We have a lot of how to bet stuff to give away, and we will certainly do that. What do we want to do? How are we giving it away this week?
Oh, I think we're going to have them leave comments on the YouTube video. If you leave comments on the YouTube video, go in there and say, I want swag or I want merch, something like that, and we will send you something.
Genius, get a haircut, or Daryl, grow some hair.
Yeah, definitely.
One is possible,
maybe half
one
and
is
half.
not. Yeah, one's possible, one's not.
And we also want to take a moment to give a big shout out to the top sports book of the week. That is Caesars Sportsbook.
Good job, Caesars.
They're one of our favorite sports books that we personally use, and they're available in 12 states across the United States: Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Iowa. Michigan, New Jersey, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia. So depending on the state you're living in, you'll be able to join and sign up with Caesars Sportsbook. They're great household brand, quick payouts, top odds, great platform, and one of the best customer service we personally use.
We love them.
And the biggest thing, they're offering a risk-free $5,000 bet with promo code HowToBetRF.
That is the biggest thing.
RF stands for risk-free, so even if you lose, you get your bets back. If you're in need of a sports book, go find Caesars, click on it through the HowToBetRF referral code, and get a $5,000 risk-free bet. Just think, if you would have played that parlay, my parlay with that.
How do you know I didn't?
you would have been up $6,000. $6,000 first week. Let's go.
I always listen to your parlays. Hey, let's welcome in our special guest today, Lou Monaco from gambling.com. Lou, a longtime friend. Lou, welcome to our show, our How to Bet show.
A pleasure to be here, Daryl. Thanks for inviting me, and I look forward to talking with you.
And Lou, because this is your 1 year anniversary at gambling.com, we decided to make you our very first guest on How to Bet. So go to HowToBet.com. Welcome, Lou. We're so excited to have you.
I really appreciate that. Thank you, Daryl.
You're the first guest, Lou. Hey, Lou, let's talk about Lou Monaco again. Gambling.com, NJ.com, EmpireStakes.com, Penn Stakes, top New Jersey casinos. He's all over the place.
My coworker as well as NJ.com.
The Genius's co-worker at NJ.com.
That's right.
Sean the Genius Miller. So, Lou, one of the things we discuss here on How to Bet is where gambling has come, how far it has come. I mean, it used to be you made a call to a guy in a torn up white tank top sitting on his mother's couch, and he'd answer the phone, "Who's this?" And you had to give him a code, and it was like everything was back alley kind of stuff, or at least that was the mindset. Now they have stadiums named after sportsbooks. There's every commercial. I don't care if you're watching the Hallmark Channel. You're seeing a commercial for sports betting.
Daryl, it is unbelievable. For the past 3 years, when the Supreme Court announced that sports betting could be legal in states and it would be a state issue, not a federal issue, it is unbelievable in 3 years how states have come aboard. It used to just be Nevada. That was one state. That was the only place you can do it. You could do some parlay games at Delaware. Now you're up to 22 states where you can legally bet either at a brick and mortar sports book, at a casino, at a horse track, or even on your phone from your couch, in front of your TV, in your kitchen, wherever it may be. It's just incredible where we have come in the 3 year span of the Supreme Court decision up until now. For instance, today, I just wrote a story on the New York Jets announcing WynnBET is going to be their second official sports betting partner. They announced last week a sports betting partnership with Fubo Sportsbook, which is going to be launched in later this year, probably the fourth quarter of this year. So now the Jets at MetLife Stadium, they're going to have WynnBET Lounge and a Fubo Sportsbook Lounge. So it's amazing how much the NFL never wanted gambling ever in their entire lives, in their entire league, their entire seasons. They never wanted sports gambling. And as soon as the Supreme Court said, no, you can do it, all hell broke loose. And now we have sports betting all over the place.
Lou, you just talked about Fubo TV as well, Fubo betting. I think just as someone who's worked with Fubo as well for a little while, I know pretty soon you're going to be able to see the lines right on your TV, and you're going to be able to bet through your TV during the games live. I know that's the interactive television, and some of the beta products they have are phenomenal for Fubo TV. So, I mean, that's just going to the next level, I think. And I think, sometimes if you can think of something that it's going to be coming up in the near future with sports betting, I mean, do you kind of see that kind of evolving as well, the technology used to bet these games?
Sean, the amount of technology and the amount of announcements and partnerships and mergers that are coming out literally almost every hour on the hour in regards to sports gaming and mobile sports betting and new sports books and casinos and all this other stuff, all that is going to evolve. I think right now people just want to get hooked on with somebody, because you have to either, in a lot of these states, you have to either get hooked up with a casino, you have to be hooked up with a racetrack, something like that. So they get hooked up. This way, mobile sports betting can enter the market, and then you'll see an expansion of that throughout the state as far as new technologies, new ways to do things. You have, the list is endless. You have Barstool Sports, you have casinos that are involved in it, you have interactive TV companies that are involved in it. You might have in the future an ESPN branded sports book, which is even more incredible because they're the worldwide leader in all sports in literally almost every sport, every event. So that would be an interesting concept to see who they might actually hook up with. You have states that are still trying to come on board because they're still fighting in-house within their legislatures to try to see how they actually want to bring the sports betting to their state. You have Massachusetts, for instance, that's kind of on the waiver. Massachusetts and Maine are two of the states that come to mind that have already had proposals, but they declined them. The governor rejected them and so on. So they're basically back to the drawing books. Also, Ohio is another state that's into that. But Arizona just launched last week. They launched prior to Thursday's NFL opener between the Buccaneers and who's the Buccaneers? Dallas, yes. So they've just launched, and there's now a thing where it's called GeoComply, where it gives you the location of basically each bettor or each individual within the state that's actually making a bet.
Wow.
So now we have 22 states in this country that have legal sports betting, and Arizona, which literally just launched Thursday over the weekend, was actually the fourth highest interactive betting as far as mobile is concerned to make bets within the state. They're the fourth state, and they just came on board 5 days ago. So the amount of money and the amount of interest and the amount of enthusiasm and passion that's in this industry now it's really incredible.
You know, it is amazing where this has come, and that leads me to my next question. First of all, that's just the sports book end of it. There's also the fantasy sports end of it is making $1 quadrillion at this point too. But what I wanted to ask you, and here's my theory on this. A lot of people are saying, well, this is not good. This is just not good. There's going to be people getting in trouble. And there's probably some truth. There is truth to that. But there's also truth to the fact that, to me, it's a little bit safer in the fact that when this wasn't around and you had that bookie that you would call, you would be using money that you didn't have. You could place a bet for any amount of money, whether you had it or not, because he's going to collect later, or you're going to collect later. And a lot of times, as you know, people were betting money they didn't have. I'll bet 1,000. Well, I have about $10 in my bank account. I'll bet 1,000 and hope they win. And then, the rest is history as far as that's concerned. But now you can't bet unless you have money in your account.
That's an excellent point. Look, we know people that used to bet offshore, or used to bet with a bookie, and that they didn't have the money, and they were chasing, as they say. You lose a couple bets, you're like, all right, I got until Monday to pay up. So what happens is they chase, and they're like, I don't have this money. I can't. And then what happens? They get into debt. They continue to bet more with money that they don't have and things of that nature. But you're right. Now you have to put that money ahead of time in an account. You can win it. You can bet off of it. But once you're out of it, you have to make the decision to say, hey, do I want to deposit money into my account again and continue to bet again? And a lot of these companies now, especially when they go into new states, a lot of these companies have to have safe gambling, gambling addiction programs, things in place where a gambler can, if they go to FanDuel Sportsbook a lot, if they find themselves in trouble, these legal sports betting companies have programs to help you. I used to work for FanDuel Sportsbook. I was a supervisor at the Meadowlands for a year. And we used to have people that would self-exclude themselves, meaning if I thought that I was a problem gambler, I would say, look, you need to not let me gamble here. And that person would tell FanDuel, hey, can you put me on a list of which I think I have a problem. I don't want to gamble. I want to straighten out my life and so on. Can you just self-exclude me? And then FanDuel, you'll be on a list within the state. You won't be allowed to bet on FanDuel, and you won't be allowed to bet at other sports betting places, brick and mortar or mobile online, for say 6 months or up to a year. And then you have to, I think, appeal your case or say, hey, I think I'm better now and so on. And then they'll decide if they're going to let you back in or not. So these programs are in place for problem gamblers that you would not find if it was an offshore guy, obviously. So that's a good thing about what's going on in the industry.
Well, Lou, you have anything to promote? Promote something, Lou. Come on, you're on. There's a lot of people watching. And listen,
Look,
promote something before we let you go.
I'm on Twitter at Lou, L-O-U, Monaco, just like the principality, not country, M-O-N-A-C-O. So at Lou Monaco. You can read my stuff on gambling.com and a lot of the state sites that we have. Penn Stakes, Great Lakes Stakes, S-T-A-K-E-S, that's in Michigan. We have Empire Stakes, which is in New York. We have Top NJ Casinos, which covers everything in the Garden State. So you can find me anywhere on Twitter, Facebook, or on any of those sites that I previously mentioned. So I really appreciate that you guys having the time to allow me to be the first guest. I'm truly honored.
Well, happy anniversary over there at gambling.com. Thanks for being our first guest. We appreciate it. We will talk to you later in the season. And again, best of luck to you, Lou.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Lou.
Thank you.
Welcome back to How to Bet, hosted by Daryl Fein and Sean Miller, giving their thoughts, opinions, and analysis on how to bet, where to bet, and who to bet on.
Welcome back to How to Bet. Remember to go to HowToBet.com, and for we have a bunch of different sports books on there. And Sean, different sports books, different lines at times. For the majority of the time, they're basically the same. But if you shop around, you could possibly find a different line to your liking. The other thing is the way the line moves from the opening line till game time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit crazy right now. I mean, after there's a thing called the opening look ahead lines. Usually get them on Sundays, before the games are over for Sunday, and you'll see, injuries, whatever. Yep. We talk about that for the Thursday night game coming up. But, for example, Denver opened at -2.5 against Jacksonville, and that line is already up to 6. So that line has jumped right away. A lot of money came in, obviously, on the Broncos.
Yes.
And you'll see the line
because Jacksonville is just so awful.
Yeah, and you basically the line moves because the Vegas lines or the bookmakers are trying to spread it so there's even money on each.
So remember, at the end of the day, Vegas, wherever you're dealing with your sportsbooks
now from all over the country.
Used to be just Vegas or your bookie.
It's interesting.
But Vegas set the lines. Now there's it's just all over. And we'll talk to when we talk to Lou Monaco, we discussed that. But at the end of the day, Vegas wants as equal amounts on both teams because they're making their money on what you call the vig. Yeah.
Minus, so every game, when you bet spreads, it's -110 you'll see. So if you win, you bet 110 to win 100. If you lose, you pay 110. So that $10 on every one, if everything is equal, if all the bets come in equal on each side, they get the middle. That's $10. That's where they make their money.
They want the vig. Yeah.
Yeah, but some of these lines you'll see they have moved, and this is Tuesday, and the lines went from Sunday basically to Monday to Tuesday. The Denver line went from -2.5 to -6. One huge line was Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay started at -8. Now it's 12.5 right now.
Kansas City, Baltimore's.
Kansas City went from -2.5 to -4, which doesn't seem like much of a move, but it jumps up over that field goal in a game that's probably going to be tight. I mean, you watch if you watch the Ravens game this weekend, it was a tight game, and those line movements, couldn't be a lot. Anytime you see it moving from under a score to over a score, that's
right,
and you think
substantial.
Yeah, we talked about this on the parlay last week. Sometimes I'll take a -7.5 and bet it down to -6.5. But, just thinking about that now, you almost have to bet it down to -6 because the extra point now is, not.
It's not a gimme
anymore. So to be safe, maybe you almost bet it down to -6.
Which is confusing because all these kickers are kicking 50-plus field goals like it's a chip shot anymore.
But you'll see. I mean, and definitely, we talk about the different books you use, and on How to Bet website, there's, for each line of odds, there's 6 different sports books. And, early in the week, you might have a bigger spread. I mean, one might be -3, one might be -4, one might be -2.5. So you have to find the best one. That's why you have to have multiple sports books. as the game gets closer to kickoff, I think it starts to even out a little bit.
That's correct.
Yeah,
and you can find all of this on HowToBet.com. So go to HowToBet.com. Again, we have exclusive promos. As far as all the information you need, you'll see articles. The Genius actually writes a lot of articles for How to Bet.
There's going to be 4 articles each week. There's going to be one for the Thursday night game, which is Washington and the Giants. There's going to be one for the Sunday night game, which is Kansas City and the Ravens. There's going to be one for the Monday night game, which is the Lions and the Packers, the dismal Packers. I know Mark Eccles probably a little bit worried about that 38-3 loss. And then there's going to be one with an overview of all 16 games this week. So just go to the front page of howtobet.com and you'll see right at the top all the stories.
Speaking of Mark Eckel, we'll have him on next week. He'll be our guest next week.
Fantastic.
Writer for the Philadelphia Eagles for 100 years. I know he doesn't look that old, but 100 years. Covered the Eagles.
Will the Packers be 0-2 at that point?
But he's a big Packer guy, writes for the Packers. Yeah. I don't think so. But we'll get into that game. And now it is time for our Parlay Power Play of the Week. Our Power Plays of the Week. And Sean, as we said already, I think it's worth mentioning again, for the first week, hit his Parlay Power Plays of the week. He nailed the 3-team parlay.
Yep.
So congratulations to him. So you might want to listen to him. I did not win my Power Play parlay. Even though I had a successful week, I did not win that one. So maybe listen to Sean. Could be red hot. Maybe I'll get hot. We'll see. But here we are. The first game that Sean takes in his Power Plays of the week. Go.
Yeah, I'm going to look at the Browns Houston game. I think
minus 12.5 is the line.
Yeah, and
Houston, they're 1-0, Sean.
1-0 Houston, a little bit of a mirage. I think Jacksonville,
they're on top of their conference.
Terrible. I think Cleveland actually played really well for the second game in a row against Kansas City. They just couldn't hold on. Kansas City's just, it's just those games.
Too many weapons. Man.
Yeah, it's just,
good weapons.
Tyreek Hill. Cleveland can hang with them. And definitely, and those two teams are pretty close. So I think we might see that again down the road. But I just think Cleveland goes home and just, posts a big number. And I just think Houston is a little bit
terrible.
They're not very good. I'll be honest.
They just beat a team that happens to be worse than them, which is unbelievable to think. We were saying, well, if Houston doesn't win this game, they might not get a win. Now we got to look the other way. Jacksonville might not get a win.
Yeah. And this is crazy. There's 3 games already that have spreads of minus 11.5 or more for the second week.
This is the
second
NFL.
week of the season. Yeah. Usually don't get that till week 5, 6, 7.
So the Cleveland Browns minus 12.5 over Houston. Your second part of this power play.
Well, it's a team that I am very big on. And I know some people aren't. We talked about this multiple times. The Arizona Cardinals.
Their defense really stepped up.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Their defense is, J.J. Watt and, their offense. Kyler Murray looked fantastic.
I think Chandler had 5 sacks.
5 sacks. I know. I am really high on them. I think, honestly, if they can win 10 or 11 games, and that division is going to be tough because 49ers are good. Yeah, that whole division should be 10 wins. That's by far the best division in the NFL. But
let's get back. So it's Arizona minus 3.5. They're playing Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm going to bet them down to minus 3 and take the Cardinals at home. Minnesota's lost to Cincinnati. I don't think they're any good. I don't think the whole division stinks. And then the NFC West is really good, so I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
All right, and now how about your third and final pick in this Parlay Power Play of the Week?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Sunday night game. I'm going to take the Chiefs. I think
the line did go up. We have it at 2.5. You're going to see on the graphic 2.5, but Kansas City somewhere around 2.5.
It's around 4 now. Yeah, I'm going to bet it down to 3, but couple factors here. I think, obviously the Chiefs are unbelievable and really good offensively. I think playing the Monday night game across the country, a little bit of a short week, and The way they lost that game.
Tough loss for the Ravens.
The Ravens have a lot of players injured. Yep. I think I think this is a short recovery week, and I just think this is a tough spot for Baltimore. So I'm going to go with Kansas City in that game.
All right. So to recap Sean's parlay power plays of the week, it will be Cleveland minus 12.5 over Houston. Arizona, he's going to bet down to 3 over Minnesota, and Kansas City, he's going to bet down to 3 as well.
Yeah, and I don't even know if you need it, but the parlay pays about plus 500.
So
maybe,
Kansas City over Baltimore. Now time for my parlay power play picks of the week. You think that's easy? It's not that easy.
Yeah,
parlay power play.
That alliteration.
I don't think I stumbled once yet. I don't think my tongue got tied once yet. It's about to happen now. Parlay power play of the week. I'm going with Matt Rule's Carolina Panthers. I know it was only the Jets. I like the Panthers this week, plus the 3 over New Orleans. And New Orleans, a big win over Green Bay on the opening week.
Jameis Winston, 5 touchdown passes.
And not a lot of yardage. So that shows you
checking down. He's starting to figure out, not throwing that pass over the top, getting intercepted.
Looked much better. So I'm going to take Carolina. McCaffrey looked good. His health is in great shape. Sam Darnold looked very good.
Good defense, too.
Their defense looked improved. And I know people will be, New Orleans, they just beat Green Bay. I'm going with Carolina plus the 3 over New Orleans. Then I will go to a team that, I happen to love, but they had lost last week. I had them last week. They were disappointing. But I'll go against the New York Jets here. I'll take New England minus the 4 over the Jets. The Jets are still horrible. Wilson, not a good debut for Zach Wilson. Give it a few more weeks, and they'll be talking about Zach Wilson like they talked about Sam Darnold. So, yes, the Jet fans will get impatient, and that's what's going to happen. New England minus 4 over the Jets, although it was a disappointing loss. And finally, I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers at Philadelphia minus 3.5. I know Philadelphia looked great. They're printing their Super Bowl tickets in the city of brotherly love. Yep. They're ready. They got their flights scheduled. But it was the Atlanta Falcons who are
atrocious.
Can I find a poop emoji here? The San Francisco 49ers over Philadelphia because Philadelphia beat a horrible Atlanta Falcons team. So here are my parlay power plays of the week. Carolina plus 3 over New Orleans, New England minus 4 over the New York Jets, and San Francisco minus 3.5 over the Philadelphia Eagles.
Just real quickly, by the way, if you play mine in the money line parlay, it's plus 164 as well. So I did that last week. I did both the money line and the spread lines because the money line hit, the spread didn't. Yep. But the money line paid whatever. So plus 164 is still a pretty good win.
Sounds simple. Hey, give us another promo. You go to HowToBet.com, find these promos. We told you about Caesars. Let's get another one.
BetMGM Sportsbook. BetMGM. First deposit up to $1,000 with bonus code HowToBetMGM.
HowToBetMGM, another one. Just go to HowToBet.com. You'll find it on the link. Along with others, but there's another great promo on HowToBet.com. When we come back, we will talk about our prime time plus bets of the week. That's coming up. New segment here.
Sounds good.
On How to Bet. So we'll be back with more on How to Bet. Go to HowToBet.com.
Let's go.
Welcome back to How to Bet. Go to HowToBet.com. You'll see numerous sports books and again, you'll see some articles from the genius Sean Miller. It's a great site. It's our site, HowToBet.com. Sean, it's now time for our prime time plus bets of the week. This segment, we will identify the games that we think will be most bet during each time slot. So it is something that we thought would be interesting to people because these are the games that we feel will have the most action on. We took one from 1 o'clock. Of course, this is Eastern time, 1 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Eastern. Our Thursday night game to start. Thursday, then 1 o'clock on Sunday, 4 o'clock on Sunday, Sunday night football, and then Monday night football. That's we feel that these games will have the most interest. So these will be our picks for these Prime Time Plus.
Yeah, hence the Prime Time Plus, the two extra, all the windows. As you know, bettors like to bet different windows here, especially on Sunday. And if you're new, make sure you click the subscribe button, the notification bell, jump on us on Twitter, at the Prodigal Sean, at Amarga Football, at Fineline33.
Feinline.
And just want to take a moment to give a shout out to the top sportsbook of the week. Once again, Caesar Sportsbook, one of our favorite sportsbooks that we personally use. They're available in all 12 states, not all 12 states, 12 states, Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia. So depending on that.
What are they giving us? What are they giving the good people?
Well,
giving something.
If you use referral code HowToBetRF, they will give you a $5,000 risk-free bet. That's a lot. $5,000 is a lot of risk-free. So either you win your bet and you win whatever you win, or you get that bet back as $5,000 worth of free bets. So make sure you head over to the Caesars page on HowToBet.com and sign up for that. HowToBetRF.
All right, now it's time for our Prime Time Plus bets of the week. Sean, you go first.
So we're going to look at the Thursday night game. And once again, you can read the odds on HowToBet.com. It'll be right there on the front page, obviously, on the Thursday night. When I wrote this story, it was still trying to figure out whether or not Ryan Fitzpatrick was going to play. Now he's out 6 to 8 weeks with a hip injury. But the kid Taylor Heineke, yeah. Heineke. I'd say he was very good in the playoffs last year against Tampa Bay, and he was good and came in and did a good job this week.
He likes to run around. He's good.
Yeah, so I think, the line started at -4.5 for Washington. It's down to -3, I believe now. Maybe going to go a little bit more. People might be jumping on the Giants.
Our line is at 4.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I know you're going to say why you would jump on the Giants.
Why would you jump on the Giants?
I wouldn't. I think Washington played pretty well in that game against a very good Chargers team. I think a Chargers team that might be better than the Broncos team that blew out the Giants. So I'm going to go with Washington in this game, even with Heineke. But I think they have a better defense. Short week. I think sometimes the defense could be big. So I'm going to go with the Washington football team. Probably bet it down to -3.
Okay. I will take the other side, even though I do believe the football team is the better team. I do think that we'll see more from Barkley this week for the Giants. I am taking the Giants only because I like the 4 points. So I'm going to take the Giants in a close game. Would not be surprised at all. I think the Redskins will win a tight game, but I'm going to take the
football team.
Oh, my gosh. I can't believe I said that.
Well, that's what they used to be.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, though. Let me ask you if...
I will buck to the football team pool because every time we say that, I have to put a buck.
If that line goes down to 2 for Washington -2, does that change your mind a little bit?
Yes. Absolutely. If that, watch
That's
the line.
Way the line is going.
Keep your eyes on the line. If it goes down under a field goal, I'm all over the football team in that one. Next one, I'll go first is the 1:00 game. Again, all times Eastern here. It's the San Francisco Giants. I know another book. San Francisco 49ers at Philadelphia. The 49ers are a 3.5-point favorite. I had the Eagles last week because I knew they were playing a horrible team. This team's much better. The 49ers, even though they'll be without Mostert, is a deep backfield. It's a very good defense. This will be a little different for Jalen Hurts. So I will take the 49ers minus the 3.5.
I think some people are looking a little bit too much into the fact that the 49ers nearly blew a 28-point lead.
I agree.
They're up 28 points. The game's over.
Yeah.
So, hey, it was 41-17. I think they kind of fell asleep a little bit. This defense is very good. And I think maybe a little wake-up call as well. I think they're going to come out and show Philly that maybe their defense is better than what they showed in that fourth quarter there. And, once again, if you can get it at 3, if the line moves, I don't think it's going to move that way. I think it's probably going to move up. Yep. So, maybe get it as soon as you can at 3.5 and maybe try to bet it down to 3.
So we agree on that. The 49ers over the Eagles minus 3.5. Next up, the Los Angeles Chargers minus 2.5 against the Dallas Cowboys. We could see a shootout here, so take a look at that total too, and you might want to go over the number, but let's discuss the line at 2.5.
Yeah, and opened right around 1.5, and it's going up now. Some books have it at minus 3 for the Chargers, so I think this is a tough spot again for Dallas. This 425 window. I think the Chargers, first of all, home opener. The Chargers are very good. Justin Herbert is a very good quarterback.
Yes, he is very good.
A lot of people kind of were on the Chargers this year as one of their sleeper teams, and I think, that AFC West could be better than people thought it was going to be before the season, because I think, you saw the Raiders, that was a big win. The Broncos looked very good against the Giants, which,
big injury, though, to Judy.
Yeah.
He's having a breakout. He was going to have a breakout year.
But it's not as bad as they thought. It's just a high ankle sprain.
4 weeks, out a month.
Yeah, and Broncos usually play poorly at the beginning, so I'm going to go with Chargers.
I'm also going with the Chargers.
You got to hope you can get it at minus 2.5 as well. Yep. Once again, bet it down. Those half a points, you'll see. They're very big.
The hook can get you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you feel you don't need it, but we both agree on the Chargers at minus 2.5. Let's go to the Sunday night game. It will be Kansas City coming to Maryland to take on the Ravens. Kansas City minus 2.5. They're coming off a high-scoring victory, while the Ravens coming off a high-scoring loss on Monday night. 2.5 is the line.
Yeah, and it's already moving towards Kansas City. It's already up to minus 3.5 with some sportsbooks. So once again, if you can get this line early, get it, because the longer you wait, it's probably going to move up to maybe 3.5, 4, or something like that. But I don't like Baltimore in this spot. They had to play Monday night across the country. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Devastating loss. They should have won that game. Terrible clock management by Harbaugh. I think Kansas City's offense is phenomenal. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. Tyreek Hill, 200 yards receiving. And I think
that was Tyreek Hill, by the way.
Yeah, what did I say?
Tyreek
Hill, 197 yards. And I just, the Chiefs.
I'm agreeing with you.
The Chiefs are the Chiefs.
Chiefs minus 2.5. A lot of people, I can't see the Ravens going 0-2, but they're on a mission.
This year after they got embarrassed in the Super Bowl, and they fixed the line, and I think the Chiefs are going to pummel teams.
And even though they have a put together with a good offensive players, offensive linemen, they're kind of new to each other, but they're veterans. It's a problem they had last year with injuries, so that has been fixed.
And people are like, they struggle. They had to come back to beat the Browns. The Browns are good. That was a big time game, and they came back and won that game. They were down 22-10 at halftime, and they came back and won. So that shows me a lot about where their mentality is right now.
And finally, the Monday night game. It is Detroit and Green Bay. Green Bay, an 11.5 point favorite. Aaron Rodgers looked to me last week, and this is not the truth, but he looked at me as if he said, I'll show them for putting me through this offseason. I'll show them. I am going to be terrible. But no, I'm sure he rebounds this week. It's, again, 11.5. I'll go first on this Monday night game, Sean.
Okay.
I am going to surprise people and take the Detroit Lions plus 11.5. Their offense is a little better than people think with Goff, because the system, the offensive system they put in for him kind of fits him well. They have good running backs. They can both catch the ball out of the backfield. Good tight end. The defense is not very good. I look for a high-scoring game in this one. I'm going to take the points and the Lions.
I was really disappointed in the Packers the other day.
Everybody was, if they liked the Packers.
I was as a Florida State, famous Jameis. I'm happy for him, 5 touchdown passes, but they were terrible everywhere.
State.
Oh man, I can't even talk about them. What a disaster! That guy's got to go. Yeah, he's got to go. Wow. Fired. USC steps up. We talk about college a little bit, but he's got to go.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I would look at the over in this game as well. But, I mean, I guess I'm going to go with the Packers. That's a lot of points, but, Packers should win this game by 2 touchdowns minimum. So, I'll go with the Packers.
All right, so we disagree on that one. We agree 3 of the 5. That was our prime time plus bets of the week. When we come back, we will run down the rest of the NFL schedule. How to Bet, go to howtobet.com. Watch this podcast anytime, anywhere, all over the world. Back after this.
Get it.
Let's take it back to How to Bet, hosted by gambling masterminds Daryl Fein and Sean Miller.
Welcome back to How to Bet. Remember to go to howtobet.com. Get all the sports books. You get articles showing the Genius Miller rating articles for them on really how to help you succeed when making your bets.
Yeah, and there's, the Thursday night games, the Sunday night games, the Monday night games, all the different games overall. Just look on the front page of howtobet.com.
And remember, you can see us at any time. You can see on social media, you can see snippets of the show. You can see the full show, of course, on YouTube. So remember to get there. And again, on Twitter, I am FeinLine33, FEINLINE 33. Sean's more complicated.
At the Prodigal Sean, SCAN, and at a Margal Football. You'll see me most of the time during the week talking about.
You want to give out a soccer bet? Go ahead.
Proper.
I'm letting you, each week I'm going to let you give out one soccer bet. I don't want it discussed any further. Just give out a soccer winner. You had a winner. So since you had a winner, let's go. Let's try to make it 2 weeks in a row.
I think, you got to go with the big teams again. Chelsea, Manchester United.
They're the biggies.
And Manchester City.
So who are you taking?
Parlay. No, I take those
that's the parlay? Okay.
Yeah.
Are they undefeated, all of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Manchester United leads the league. They're three wins and a draw. I think they're all on 10 points. It's basically, the Premier League top, it's the 4 teams. It's the 4 teams and everybody.
All right, that's enough. All right, back to real football.
By the way, make sure you go to the YouTube and click subscribe, like, and notification, the bells, all the ding. Remember to listen. All the links are in these videos. All the links are on howtobet.com as well. Once again, Caesar Sportsbook, they're our favorite sportsbook. We personally use 12 states: Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia. So depending on what state where you're in, you can use that. HowToBet RF stands for risk-free. You get a risk-free $5,000.
$5,000. That's no joke.
First bet. Look, man, it's unbelievable.
No
we
joke.
talk about some of the bonus codes for Points Bet, which is a $2,000 risk-free bet as well. So if you're in need of a sportsbook, just go to howtobet.com and you'll see all the different ones. So let's not waste any more time.
Wait, I want to waste some more time.
Okay.
I want to tell the good people.
Oh, guess what we got?
How to get swag.
So go to YouTube after, obviously, you like and subscribe, or our Twitter, like and subscribe. Send us a message saying, I want merch. I want swag. And we will send you some kind of swag. We got T-shirts, hats, water bottles,
our producer,
pens, pads.
Trey's got his swag on. I know.
Oh, nice.
He's kind of buried in the back there, but
he's
got the swag. He got the shirt.
Yeah, I got my United shirt on
Trey
today because we play today. So Champions League, let's go.
You know who doesn't have the swag? Our executive director, Tiffany Hartman.
She's got swag.
She's got swag, but she doesn't have swag on.
How to bet swag yet. She's got swag.
She's got swag. All right, let's finish this thing up. Are you done, by the way? You're done with your promotions and all that stuff?
Yeah,
All right, let's finish up the NFL.
Call to action. Just remember, stick around. We're going to give you, 3 ways to bet smarter, maybe.
All right, first game up. I will butt out because this is part of my power play parlay of the week. Carolina +3 against New Orleans. You already know my pick. I like Carolina. Sean, your pick on this game?
I'm going to go the other way. New Orleans. I think Jameis Winston looked good, and this could be. I think New Orleans could be a little bit of a surprise. Not a surprise. They were 12-4 last year, but I think everybody
surprised because of the quarterback change.
Yeah, I thought they were going to take us. Everybody thought they were going to take us.
Michael Thomas is going too.
No, I think they're going to be okay.
All right. Now the Bears and Cincinnati. Cincinnati 1-0. Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
The Bengals are a 3.5-point underdog. So if you want the Bears, you got to lay 3.5. You're willing to do that, Mr. Miller?
I will probably bet it down to -3, but I'll take Chicago in that game. They looked good in that game for 3 quarters. The Rams, I think, kind of in the fourth quarter blew them out a little bit.
Rams a much better team than Cincinnati.
Yes,
so I will agree. I'm going to take 3.5. I'm going to take the Bears. I'll lay the 3.5.
Okay, you take the extra. Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to bother me. Next up, the 1-0 Pittsburgh Steelers and the 1-0 Las Vegas Raiders. The Steelers a 6.5-point favorite in this one after a big win against the Bills. The Bills were very disappointing, but we'll get to that. So the Steelers -6.5.
Yeah.
What say you?
Once again, I don't like Vegas having to play Monday night and then having to go across the country. I think, emotional win, that emotional game, a little bit draining overtime. I think Pittsburgh, big win, and playing at home. I'm going to go with the Steelers here.
I'm going to shock you here because I'm taking a team that coming into the season I didn't think was very good. I still don't think they're very good, and yet for the second week in a row, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to bet them to win outright. I'm going to take the Vegas Raiders plus the 6.5, but I'm going to bet them outright.
Well, you got a plus 200 money line there.
Yeah. I told everybody last week. I thought just on raw emotion,
Why?
the opening in Vegas. I just had a feeling Vegas, and they won the game outright. I told you that I was going to take them outright. I'm going to take them again outright over the Steelers.
Why?
I just don't like the Steelers. It's more about the other team. Now, the Ravens game Monday night, to me, it was just, I know I'm taking the team that's not as good as the other team, but I just thought of, with that Vegas stadium and everything all pumped up.
Is that one of the, we talk about like the different ways you can bet. Obviously you can crunch numbers until the cows come home, but you have to have an intuition and a feeling. If you're a good bettor, you got to have a feeling about stuff sometimes too, right?
Yes, but I don't recommend betting on emotion. As we tell you in the top of the show, bet with your head, not with your heart. Be smart. Don't bet over your means. But with this one, I don't trust this. I just don't trust the Steelers. I think Buffalo is just terrible for whatever reason in the opener.
And just another quick one. Once again, I think we talked about it last week. But if you think an underdog is going to win outright, you just take the money line.
Crush it.
You can bet the points and whatever. But if you think they're going to win, take the money line because you're going to get plus 200 instead of minus 105 or whatever.
Absolutely. Now. The Los Angeles Rams -4.5 against Indianapolis. Will the Colts go 0-2 with their new addition Carson Wentz?
Yes.
I don't agree with you.
You think the Indianapolis is going to win this game?
I don't know that they're going to win, but again, I see a close game, and it's a 4.5-point spread. I'm going to take the 4.5 and the Colts.
I think the Rams are. I think they're big time.
You're thrilled with the Rams.
Yes.
Again,
I think the NFC
close game.
I think the NFC West, you see what Seattle did going there and just really kind of dominating that game. And I mean, personally, I think the Rams are better than Seattle. So I'm going to go with the Rams.
An AFC East contest, the Buffalo Bills, they're going to look to not go 0-2. That would be something if they do. They're -3.5 against the Miami Dolphins.
This is a tough game to pick.
This is
for
tough.
me.
I'm going to tell you why this is. I'm going to tell you why I think this is tough, and then I'm going to let you give your bet.
Okay.
This is tough because everybody in the world is going to say there's no way Buffalo goes 0-2.
I think
they're going to, ramp it up, amp it up, beat the Dolphins badly. I don't know if that's going to be the case.
It's weird with the Buffalo. When you saw them in the playoffs last year, this Josh Allen, he's very good. He put up a lot of numbers, but they don't score a lot of points in some games. They
don't have a running game is one of the problems.
Yeah, and they just, Miami's decent. They got a good. I'm going to take Buffalo here. I'm going to bet it down to -3, but I'm not. This is like the least confident game of the weekend. Like I wouldn't bet this game. Personally,
I don't love it. Obviously, none of these are in our parlay.
I don't like this guy.
This game's not in our parlay.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet this.
But I'm also going to take the Bills -3.5 because I could get suckered into it. But I don't think they'll go 0-2. Next on the slate, the Denver Broncos -6 against Jacksonville, a Jacksonville team that, they lost to Houston team that has very limited talent.
Yeah, Jacksonville stinks. Yeah. I mean, I once again, like, I don't think Denver's a world beater. I mean, that's my team, if I back them. But Denver -6, on the road. I will say this: Denver usually slow starts and then gets better as the season goes. If Denver starts here 2-0 with the Jets next week at home and maybe 3-0, this could be a very interesting team. And Teddy Bridgewater does a good job managing the game. He doesn't make mistakes. He gets the ball, down the field a little bit. Judy loss is going to hurt him a little, but they have some good weapons.
Yeah,
and
Patrick might step in.
Their defense is very good.
Cortland Sutton.
And Jacksonville is not going to do anything.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think so either.
Lawrence threw three interceptions last week, and I think against this good defense, he could struggle.
More's coming. More interceptions are coming. So I'll also take Denver minus the 6 in this one. I'm going to step out on this next game, because I already told you New England -4 over the Jets, one of my parlay power plays of the week. So I'll step out. I have New England. Who do you like?
I'm going to take New England. Once again, I don't think the Jets are any good. Yeah, this is more a pick against the Jets. Mac Jones had a pretty decent game. That was a pretty good game actually against Miami. They just didn't end up winning, but big mistake at the end. But Jets aren't very good. I'll go with New England.
Next game, Tampa Bay -12.5 over Atlanta. We know Atlanta's terrible. The Bucks. I don't think the Bucks were happy at all, even though they won the game. I don't think they were happy. I think they come out this week and make a big statement, a big win for Tampa in this one.
Yeah, Dallas's offense is pretty good. Their defense isn't. But, Tampa Bay made a lot of emotion. They get the banner, the Ring of Honor, all this stuff, opening night. They end up winning the game. They can, exhale. They get 10 days to get ready for Atlanta. And, they probably didn't need 10 days because Atlanta stinks. I mean, if the line gets above 2 touchdowns, I get a little worried there, because that's a lot of points in an NFL game. But right now, under 2 touchdowns, Tampa Bay should win this by 3 touchdowns minimum.
Los Angeles Chargers. We discussed this one earlier, but we both agree that the Chargers minus a 2.5 over Dallas. That was part of our primetime bets of the week. And finally, to wrap things up on the NFL slate, Tennessee and Seattle. Tennessee is a dog in this one, a 5.5-point dog, and they look terrible in week 1.
And Seattle looked good.
Yeah,
and Seattle's playing at home. I got a NFC West. I'm gonna back the NFC West when they're playing these other bum division teams. I'm gonna back them. You got the other 4:00 game, Arizona and Vikings as well. It's an NFC West team against the NFC North, but I'm gonna go with the Seahawks. And I think this is going to be one of these things where all season, when the NFC West is going out of the NFC West to play these teams, especially at home, you got to back them, because this division is really good, and these teams need to win, out of the division to make the playoffs.
Yeah, and I'm going to go the other way again. I think a tight game. I'll take Tennessee plus the 5.5. They're not as bad as they showed last week. Not sure what went on there, but I think they adjust things and keep it at least close against Seattle.
What? Just quickly too, with the Vikings and Cardinals. What do you? Obviously I talked about them earlier. It was one of my. Are you on the Cardinals? Or?
Yeah, you have to pretty much be on the Cardinals, I think. And Minnesota just can't trust them.
I can't. How do you? I just don't understand. That division is up for grabs, and everybody's talking about the Vikings, and then you go out and you lose to Cincinnati. Like, it's just weird. I just
12 penalties in the first half for Minnesota.
We started this with the Sager bet with those teams where I said the top, the teams at the top, and I think the NFL is a little bit like that. The NFC West, the really good teams, I think, are up here, and maybe there's a couple here, but then there's a lot of teams in this, like.
So you don't believe in NFL parity anymore?
No, okay. I think there's whatever. I think the parity. These teams are all going to have like decent records. Like Vikings might be 8-9 or 9-8, but they're just playing a bunch of teams that stink. So, but these teams up here, the real good teams are going to win 13 games and 14. There's going to be some teams going 14-3, 15-2, 16-1, I think, this year.
Yeah, remember that 17-game schedule this year.
Do you think any team goes 17-0?
No.
Do you think any team goes 16-1?
No.
What's the most wins this year?
15.
15-2.
That's the most.
Chiefs?
Yeah. Chiefs, yeah. Maybe Tampa.
Okay.
They're the two teams I think will probably represent again. Yeah. So we thank you for joining us on How to Bet. Again, I know there's a trillion different podcasts you can watch, so we do appreciate you watching ours and listening to ours. You can find it on outlets all over the audio world. You can see us on video on YouTube. You'll see snippets of the show out there on social media. And Sean, once again, our promos for this week.
Yeah, very quick at the end here, very quickly. PointsBet, sign up for a new account and get 2 risk-free bets worth up to $2,000. Bonus code HowToBet. And remember, one of them is the $500 regular bet, and one of them is a $1,500 points bet where, if you take Tampa Bay minus 12 and they win by 40, you're going to get 20 times your bet.
I love it.
I
might do that.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty interesting. But you got to remember, if they only win by 2, like the other night, you lose. You would have lost like 7 times your bet. Unibet Sportsbook. Sign up for a new account and get a risk-free bets worth up to $250. Bonus code UNIGAMBLER. And make sure you like and subscribe us on YouTube. Leave your comments for the swag and the merch.
Swag.
And follow us on Twitter at The Prodigal Sean, at Amargo Football, and at FineLine33.
FEINLINE.
And HowToBet.com. HowToBet's got a thing, and you'll see all our stuff, our stories, and our videos, and all the Stitcher and Anchor and all that stuff will be tweeted out during the day. I believe we're going Wednesdays at 12. Wednesdays at 12 for the podcast. Thursday for the video. So check it out.
Check it out. Again, go to howtobet.com. Thanks to everybody for watching and listening. Thanks to our producer, Sean Wright, our executive director, Tiffany Hartman. Thanks to Lou Monaco from gambling.com for joining us today. For Sean the Genius Miller, I'm Daryl Fein. See you next week on How to Bet.
Let's get it.
Thank you for listening to How to Bet, hosted by Daryl Fein and Sean Miller. For more information about betting guides, online gambling, betting odds, including NFL betting lines and odds, go to howtobet.com. Watch all How to Bet podcasts on YouTube. And to access all How to Bet podcasts, go to 1077thebronx.com/howtobet.